Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I am working in a couple summer journals that I'm making for my Etsy shop. They are both the same, using this little swimmer's journal, little golden book. They're the same in the sense that I use the same book. They are similar on the inside, but I use different book pages and things like that. But for today, I wanted to make a couple different junk journal embellished ephemera pieces that can go in any junk journal. So the two items that I'm making is this book page little tag pocket. And then I have this on the inside here. If I can find the right page, let's see. I should have. We'll find it here pretty soon. It's in here. Believe me, it's in here. It is a fun little pocket made using a bill envelope, and we will find it. I should have put a bookmark, but I wanted you to see the front cover. Where did it go? Well, you're getting a sneak peek of the journals anyway. Well, I found it right now. All right, here it is. So this super cute pocket, and I used a business envelope like this. This is a bigger one, and this is the one we're going to be making today. So let's just go ahead and get into making these two fun embellishments. The first one we're going to work on is the tag pocket. So what you need is a book page. This is just a book page from an old Reader's Digest book. I use the Reader's Digest books, the covers of them, for journals, and then I keep some of the pages for the inside to use in other books. And then I have a scrap piece of patterned scrapbook paper and a piece of fabric that kind of goes, I used it on the cover, the spine of my cover here, so it coordinates. And then I have a couple embellishments. These are just some dimensional little stickers here, some sunglasses and a watermelon. And then I have this little cut apart that's of an alligator or a crocodile, I can't tell which one that is, in a little blow up swimming pool. So that's just going to be our little insert to go inside the tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our book page, and I'm just going to trim off the sides and the bottom. I left the top. Just going to trim this down. And you can make this whatever size. You can use whatever size book page. It just depends on what size of a tag that you'd like. And then I went ahead and cut it down a little bit. So I'm going to go to about there and trim that off. So this makes it like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 approximately, but I just kind of eyeballed the size that I wanted. And then I'm going to fold it from, you could do it either way, but I'm going from the right side and folding it into the center. So the edge is in the center, and just making a crease there. And then I'm going to take my scrap of paper here, and I already have it torn from when I tore the strip here. So I'm just going to tear it going down. And that's just going to line here. And you can use any shape of paper or any kind of combination of scrapbook papers that you want. And then I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to fold it into a V, kind of like that. So you're just basically folding it to make it a right angle, and then you're folding it back the other way, and then it makes a V like that. And then that's going to stick right in here, tuck it in there, so it kind of makes your tag topper. And I'm going to trim it just a little bit, and you can make this as tall or short as you want at the top. So you have that going on like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and what I did was I stitched this part on to the flap first. I just did 2 lines down each side of the strip of scrapbook paper, and then I folded it. I put my fabric under here, and then I stitched all the way around. So let's go ahead and head over to the sewing machine and you'll see how I did that. All right, so I have my machine set to a straight stitch, and I bumped it up to a 4-point length, but you can do it whatever length you want it to be. And you can honestly do whatever stitch. If you want to do like a zigzag or a fancy stitch, you can do that too. That I'm just going down each side and back stitching at the ends. And then I'm just going to pull it around, turn my paper around and go down the other side. Gotta make sure we don't get the thread caught here. Okay. I didn't cut it at that end, so it got caught. Okay, let's keep going here. And then just back stitch. All right, cut those off. So I'm just going to use my trimmer on the side of my sewing machine. Now you're going to fold this like here and stick your fabric up in the top there. You could secure it with a pin or a paper clip, but I'm just holding it there. It'll be fine. I'm going to start at the very left side of the top and just go around doing the straight stitch again. Back stitching at the beginning and then just go around. And I'm just going to turn it when I get to the side. And we'll head it back over and finish this up. Okay, now we're just going to decorate. Okay. So I'm just going to put on my little sunglasses and the watermelon. I think I'll put the watermelon up at the top. And then my sunglasses down here. And that is it. You just fit your whatever you want inside here. It could be another tag, or in my case is a little die cut. Super cute embellishment. So let's make the other one. Okay, so for the other one you will need a business envelope and some stickers and another tag or a little die cut. That's what I'm using here. But first we will work on the base of this. I'm going to take my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to keep the edge around here. I'll make this shorter, but you'll see here. So I want to, this width here is approximately 3/8 of an inch. So I want to make it the same over here. Trim that, and then cut the same down here, and let's see, I'm just going to trim off this little tiny edge because we're not using the back of the envelope, we're just using this top part. Oop, I accidentally cut that. That's okay though. Let's see if we can, I'll just use my scissors. I'm gonna cut it just to, there, that's a little bit better. Make it a little bit the same. Okay, that's good. So now you have the piece, the clear piece, plus the frame. So now you just want to decorate this. So I have a blue and a yellow marker. I'm going to use the fat end of mine. This is just a zig rider, and this one is a Marvy Le Plume. Just things I had in my stash from my scrapbooking days. You can do this however you want. I'm just going to go through and do some lines here. Oh, you know what? This one isn't as... I'm going to do my lines with the yellow because this one seems to not have, like, it runs out of ink quickly, so. And the zig one is pretty good on ink. So I'm just going to go around and do random lines. You can do straight ones or wiggly ones. You can do dots. You can do whatever you want to do to decorate this. You could even use like watercolors and paint it and do little doodles. And I'm not being perfect here. Just kind of going around with my marker. I'll use my blue marker to add some details, but it just wasn't. I noticed when I made my other one that the ink was kind of going. So maybe I'll add in a line in the four corners just to match what I already have. And then I'll go through and do a dot in each little space here. Oops. This is just a super quick way of making embellishments. And then on my other one, I did a squiggly line, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, it's running out of ink, so let me see if this one will show up a little bit better. There we go. Maybe I want to add some little dots. Can't really see them all that well, but just add a few more of the yellow dots in. All right. Now we're going to add this into, well, first let's add a sticker. So I have these stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the umbrella. These have a sticky square, like a foam square, and I don't want all that height in my junk journal, so I'm just going to peel this off. It's not going to come off perfectly. If I used like a heat gun, maybe I could get it off perfectly, but I'm just going to try and peel it off as best I can with my fingers. Kind of pull that off. And then I'm just going to use some glue and glue this down. That's good enough for me. I just have some quick dry tacky glue, and I'm going to add that to my little clear pocket. Maybe I'll go on the left side. Now you can add more embellishments if you want. I don't think there's anything else that I want to... Well, I could have maybe added... I don't know, I think I just want to stick with one. That's good for me, because you're going to be adding things in there. But I have this really cute little beach bag die cut. So now I just need to find a spot in my journal to add this in. I'm going to find a sturdy page that doesn't have any, like a lot of embellishments on it, to add a pocket in. This is a good one. Maybe, let's see. Oh, let's do this side, because there's not much on here besides the stitching. So now all we need to do is add some glue to the sides and the bottom. Just glue that down. Oops. Hopefully you saw that. And then you just stick your tag or whatever embellishment you want inside there. Just kind of need to let it dry a little bit more, but that's how it goes, like that. And you can see that whatever you stick in that pocket, you can see because it's clear, of course. But I just think that is super cute. I'm going to take this out for now because I want it to dry a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video of these summer embellishments. You can, of course, make them in any theme of whatever journal you're working on. I'll pull in my other 2 tags that we made. I'm kind of out a little bit far here, aren't I? Anyway, there's the 2 tags that I made previously, and then our pocket. So if you're interested in these journals, I will be having a flip through of both of them coming up after this video. That will be my next video, and then they will be listed in my Etsy shop, and all the details will be over there as far as how big the journal is and how many pages. And then it will come with packed full of vintage and new ephemera and just a couple of really fun junk journals. So hopefully you're having a great summer, keeping cool. It's been really hot here in Ohio, and today we had some rain and it was we had a little bit of relief, but it's just been really humid. So it's nice to be inside and crafting in the air conditioning. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.